First, I have the flu. I am one of the people who gets terribly sick in the summertime. Second, tagging back to this comment because, yes, let's have this conversation. Because I have a lot of new followers who are not familiar with me, and you're popping into certain videos and they're either bumping up against something or they're affirming something for you. So you're reacting based on that one interaction with me. What's good, y'all? I am LoneeAppleton. I am a healthy family advocate. I do not have any professional credentials. I just woke up one day in February and was like, you know what, the way that we're running this household is messed up. It's not in love. We are all at war with each other and we're looking to be offended by each other. And that's not family. So I have taken it upon myself to become an advocate, which means I am a voice for change. I am not an expert, but I think what I'm saying makes sense. So we can get out of our feelings and actually like, you know what? Talking to each other this way ain't right. Treating each other this way ain't right. What has been demonstrated for years, for generations as love is not love. And that's how we could watch a video where a man puts his entire back into punching a woman in the face. When he sees he did not knock her out, he goes in to continues to beat on her. This is the culture that we created. We sitting here looking at these politicians like, do something. And meanwhile, we're looking at ourselves like we're victims, as if we're not the victimizers. So that's my platform. I am a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, posting videos with your community so that we can grow. Also, please consider shopping the merch. Consider shopping my book. Consider donating to the tip jar. There's some merch right there. Some people are gonna watch my videos and think that I'm sharing too much information. No, if this was your platform, you would be sharing too much information for your comfortability. I woke up in 2013 and God was like, you need to start living your life out loud. And what I mean by living your life out loud is to not be ashamed. All the things that people do in the darkness and they hide and they suffer in silence, I want you to share it. God said, I don't only want you to not be ashamed for being human. I want you to teach other people how to not be ashamed for being human. I was called in 2013 to share my business. And I know that is such a foreign concept for most of us, but it's not your calling, it's mine. And that's why I can so easily come and sit in front of this camera and tell you everything that's going on in my life. So please don't come to me and tell me that I'm sharing too much. Per who? My husband has been my friend since 2010. I have gone to my husband on multiple occasions and did a checkpoint and say, hey, I have many videos where I am sitting right next to my husband having the exact same conversation that I've had independent from him. So I'm not talking behind his back. I have actually said these things to him. And now Spirit said you need to share with the people, because if you are out here only showing the good and you are never demonstrating the bad, how are you truly helping people? So when I talk about the financial situation, when I talk about the relationship issues, when I talk about these things, somebody is going to be like, oh my God, she's talking trash, or oh my God, she's saying too much. But guess what? If my marriage falls apart, my marriage was falling apart whether I talked about it or not. For some reason, y'all think hiding in the shadows is going to save your marriage. It's not. But guess what? Maybe me being vocal about the issues I'm having within my relationship, which I've had conversations with my husband, and my husband knows how I get down. So your spouse can respond to how I get down based on how they respond, but my husband knows how I get down. And maybe me publicly talking about these things that nobody talks about. All these relationship experts, they don't talk about this stuff. They talk about it topically. But when they turn those cameras off and they turn those microphones off and what really happens behind the scenes, they don't talk about that stuff. I do. Because if I talk about it, maybe you'll start talking about it. And whatever happens to my marriage is what happens to my marriage. I've accepted it. I'm going to anchor my husband down. I'm going to do the work. But if he chooses to stay where he stays, it's where he chooses to stay. That's not me talking stuff. That's me being a realist. And that's me publicly being a realist, because there's too many of us who are trying to hold on to some dead, dry fruit. So that's who I am. I'm all about saving us communally. We have lived in the shadows for too long. We have suffered for too long. Our men have accepted brokenness for too long. Our women have assumed just because they were born with beautiful black skin and a vagina, they're automatically right, and all they got to do is some spiritual work and damn everything else. But guess what? A woman raised that man who stood in that restaurant and punched the multiple times out of that woman. A woman raised that little girl who is a woman who sat there and argued and was in that man's face, a complete stranger. A woman raised everybody in that restaurant that ignored what was happening. A woman raised that man who stood there and watched it all happen, and then when it got physically violent, he ran out the door. So if we ever want to point out a man issue in our society, we must first point out the woman issue in our society, because we are the mothers of all. And if you don't understand that, you don't understand English, homeboy. I'm done talking.
Hey man, real talk. In order to understand my train of thought, you'll have to put yourself in my position. You can't expect me to think like you, cause my life ain't like yours, you know what I'm saying? You don't understand that, you don't understand English, homeboy. I'm done talking. Hey, what's happening, shouty? The king back. I know y'all miss a pimp, right? Yeah, but dig, there's been a lot of hate going on, okay? So let me holler at you something. First of all, look at here, dog. You might have seen me in the street, but shouty, you don't know me. When you holler, when you speak, remember you don't know me. Save all the hating and the popping, pimping, you don't know me. Quit telling people you my partner, listen, you don't know me. Don't be a groupie, keep it moving, shouty, you don't know me. Hey, I ain't tripping, pimp, the truth is really you don't know me. Yeah, you know they call me T.I., but you don't know me. You be hating and I see why, cause you don't know me. I think it's time I made a song for people who don't know me. I graduated at the streets, I'm a real OG. I've been trapping since I stood OB. So all you rappers acting bad, you gon' have to show me. You gon' make me bring this Chevy to a real slow creep. My partner's hanging out the window, mouth full of gold teeth. When the start, wonder when it's gon' cease. Chop in the side and create a slow beat. In the speculation, cause today we gon' see what's the future of a sucker who be hating on me. I ain't worried about the feds' investigation on me. I don't care that they at my shows and they waiting on me. I'ma keep on bustin', poppin' long the tupes on the beat. Tell police I ain't stopping, I'ma keep it in the streets. Contrary to your beliefs, I'm as real as you can be. So keep your thoughts and your feelings, shouty, you don't know me. You might have seen me in the street, but shouty, you don't know me. When you holler, when you speak, remember you don't know me. Save all the hating and the popping, pimping, you don't know me. Quit telling people you my partner, listen, you don't know me. Don't be a groupie, keep it moving, shouting, you don't know me. Hey, I ain't tripping, pimp, the truth is really you don't know me. Yeah, you know they call me T.I., but you don't know me. You be hating and I see why, cause you don't know me. Hey, once again, let me remind you, pimping, you don't know me. So don't be walking up and asking what's the deal on it. I don't know if you wearing wise, you could be the police. If I was, you couldn't get up. See me in the PSC falling through at a show deep. Police holding up the dope, cause they know we tote. I just wanna rap with C in the fleet. Or with Clay and by the dozen different freaks in a week. I just wanna chill with country and it's